back over to the liquid. So that's where we're at on it. The Clariflock come in from Harrison Ford for $1.10 a pound. That's the new jar testing we just did. Brentag also got the fluoride at 0.4375 cents per pound. And Harrison Ford also got the potassium permanganate. I've dealt with all these companies. It's my recommendation we go with low bids on all.
There's nobody else to be up against like Harrison Ford. Yeah, the buck 10.
10 years ago, yes. But they came with it just like Brentag just built Ulrich out. Ulrich has been around for how many years? It just seems like everything, the bigger companies are swallowing the little ones, and that's what's happening. Any questions?
Need a motion?
Yes, sir.
I'll motion we accept the bids, the low bids.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. We'll have a roll call vote. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Hampton Ground proposed.
The board members remember, if they remember, a couple years ago we had our number 8 filter bed that was leaking. Well, then we had a company come in and seal the whole inside of the bed with the certified for water, and we had to come back like 4 or 5 times. We never really officially could figure out where the pinhole was to get that leak stopped. I had 2 companies come down. It's gradually seems like it's getting worse. We knocked a brick off the edge of the building. We had 2 companies come down and look at it, and it is actually a concrete joint to where they had added on at one time or another or set forms on top. And there's a spot about 4 or 5 foot in length that's leaking. I know in the past, before I come in '96, they actually did it themselves. For a few years, these 2 companies, this is what they specialize in. They drill holes around these joints. They actually insert this mountain grout with so many PSI, and it follows the leak all the way back into the filter beds. We could actually trace to where we could seal inside, and this mountain grout actually expands and seals the leak off itself. I got 2 quotes on fixing this. Both of them seem assured that they could get the problem fixed. If you look at it, do you have any questions on it? We have one for $900, and that company just called New. They're out of Indianapolis, and we have F.E. Gates and Company, and they come in at $1,145. He sent some literature on the mountain grout itself, how it's NSF certified.
They both basically do the same.
They both do the same thing. Actually, the NEW, this guy used to work for Gates, and he went out and formed his own company. So I'm assuming he knows, pretty much on how Gates has been around for years. He said he's been doing it for 35 years. I would feel comfortable with the NEW to do the job.
Are you saying when we did this a couple years ago it was not done right?
I'm not saying it wasn't done right. I'm saying that we had them come back, I know, 4 or 5 times, and we looked and looked for little pinholes, and they had to grind it off, and we just never could actually. And then this guy with Gates, when he even told me, he said sometimes you can't find them.
Who is that company?
Gates.
Is that who did it the first time?
No.
Who is that?
That was Odell.
Odell? Just people remember that. The records.
Odell just did our painting on our new water plant. Yeah.
We need to keep them painted.
Well, any discussion on this? think it's money well spent if we can do any good with it.
Well, we have to do it, right?
We do need to do it.
It's a matter of who we choose.
2 years ago, it was leaking so bad that it really wasn't a problem in the wintertime. I mean, it was leaking that bad, but I'm not saying we're talking hundreds of gallons of water, in an hour or whatever. But now we do have it slowed down enough to where you can see it. I mean, you can see it running down the edge of the building, and I'm sure that once this winter gets here, it's going to freeze and possibly bust the concrete down.
I'm going to accept a little bit on this, but then you don't get repair work.
Sorry for that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote.
John?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes. Next thing on the agenda, we have Mr. Joe Ferguson and Mr. John Johnson for radio read meters.
Do you want to just come up, or you want to tell a little bit about
I
it?
can give a short history real quick. As you well know, over the years I've been complaining about our radio read system failing day by day, basically. I gave you a short history, sorry for it just coming in your packet today. We first started in 2002. We started off slow with an initial purchase of 100 meters, a laptop, and a drive-by system, which worked swell for a long time. And then we purchased another 400. Our program was going to be 500 a year to see how they were doing. After we purchased 800 more, they started failing. We sent back 400 of the transpondents. The company that teamed up with the manufacturer that sold us the package deal went out of business, went bankrupt. So we were kind of sitting 400 shy transpondents. We have, there's 200 and some meters sitting in the garage that we've utilized part of the meters with transpondents that another company had given us later to help offset at least 300 that were missing. But long story short, we're down to reading probably 60%. In that, I think. 52% this last time. And we had roughly probably 650 in the ground out of 1,000. So I think the transpondents were guaranteed for 5 years, which that's how old they are, the ones that are still plugging away. Right now, we do not have a company that we are working with, so this company has a solution. They can retrofit the ones we have in the ground, and also have their own meter that's all-inclusive, and they wanted to do a presentation and see if they could help us out. Our laptop, too, by the way, there's keys falling off and everything else. It was purchased in 2002, which is part of this component. So if we could take a few minutes to let them present this and kind of go from there.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Don. My name is Joe Ferguson. I work with Construction Site Services. I am the distributor for Master Meter products in your area. And I've been to Greensburg several times before. In a past life, I worked with a company, and I opened up a retail location here in Greensburg, and they're still doing business here today. So it's fun to be back, and it's a beautiful community. Right now, I have arguably one of the best jobs in the world, because I get to go out with the best product and the best technology and help people fix situations that have come up. Obviously, water meters and meter reading is kind of an important component in what you do, making sure that you get the value out of your water system that goes into it is critical, and this technology will help you do that. Master Meter has been in business for 35 years. They're based out of Texas, and you actually do business with Master Meter today. Master Meter has a subsidiary called Green Tree Technologies out of Lexington, Kentucky, and they actually handle the billing system for you. So this is kind of a natural extension of that. The products will work together well between the billing and the software and the system. I feel very fortunate today, and John Johnson, who is our territory representative for Master Meter, is here today. He's actually going to give the presentation, and his presence, I think, is reflective of